Welcome to Logistics Executive TV. I'm Cassandra Lee, the Managing Partner for the Executive Search and HR Consulting Division. And today I'm joined by Scott Phillips, who is the Editor-in-Chief of CargoNOW. Scott, welcome to LETV.
Hi guys, how are you today?
Doing really well, thanks. Great to be able to catch up with you again. It certainly has been some time. So fill me in. CargoNOW, industry publication, very, very well reputed in our industry. Give me a bit of a heads up for our viewers who haven't heard of CargoNOW, what you guys are actually doing in the reach.
Yeah, so CargoNOW is a magazine that's dedicated to the industry of logistics and a little bit more about supply chain, which we're trying to bring in. We cover a lot of regional topics and news around Asia, but we do go as far as Europe and the US where required as well on topics that are affecting the logistics and supply chain world. We also have opinion editorials. We have a lot of interesting articles about new ideas, innovation, digital applications, right across to the mergers and acquisitions that are happening in the world. So it's 4 hard copies per year, but also all of our digital content available now, CargoNOW, on our website, and also on LinkedIn and all the social media channels.
Excellent. Well, we'll certainly make sure all of that's tagged so everybody can follow and stay up to date, because there is a lot of things that are happening in the industry and particularly with the macroeconomic environment, a lot more news reports coming out and impacts that people need to be aware of. So a very good source to have. Now, you guys are involved with Logisym in the Philippines. So there's going to be a conference next week. So give me a bit of a heads up on what you guys are doing in your involvement with Logisym down there. So covering it or speaking or you fill the viewers in.
Yes, so CargoNOW is a media partner of Logisym, which is a preeminent symposium of logistics within Southeast Asia, and we're expanding out to the Philippines for the first time with Logisym this year. We do have hosted for nearly a decade now Logisym Asia Pac in Singapore, the last few years pre-COVID in Malaysia, and we're very excited and happy to be now traveling to the Philippines to host the seminar, and CargoNOW is a media partner of Logisym Philippines for 2023.
Fantastic. So what are the topics for, that's going to be discussed at Logisym next week in the Philippines?
Yeah, we'll follow the flow that we had with Asia Pac, Logisym, and also Logisym Malaysia. So it'll be about driving sustainability and supply chain performance through digitalization. We're still talking a little bit about the post-COVID supply chain world. So how we can become more responsive, more resilient, and more sustainable going forward. So these threads that we had in Logisym through Asia Pac and Malaysia so far this year have proved very successful with the audience and the clientele that attend. And so we're really looking forward to bringing that some of the speakers from Asia Pac and Malaysia, but also a host of speakers from the Philippines into the 17th of August at the World Trade Center in Metro Manila. So very excited.
Very much so. And, one of the things that I found to be really quite effective with Logisym is bringing in providers and the shippers so that you've got sort of like those smaller groups, and where you can really get a collaboration and a cross-section of different ideas, challenges, solutions to look at, what are the issues that are actually being faced? How are we actually addressing them? What are some of the lessons that are being learned in some of the other regions, and how we can apply that in particular countries or particular sectors? So I think there's been some real poignant moments of interception that have come from the events that, that I've certainly attended over the years of Logisym as a result of who that audience cross-section actually is, more so than just trade shows or exhibitions or conferences that are specific to one sort of demographic or one audience, one way or another. And I think, that becomes in a situation that we're in having to learn from COVID and those challenges and a bit of a hangover, and then going into the macroeconomic environment, an absolutely critical juncture of being able to get industry partners together to collaborate.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have a host of, or not a host, we have a keynote speaker, which we're very excited. We're partnering with the Transport and Logistics Philippines team, which is a really important partnership for Logisym to tee up with the preeminent logistics transport organisation within the Philippines. So the keynote speakers, the presentations, the panel discussions, which are quite lively, and we encourage them to be lively at Logisym, will really give all our audience a cross-section of topics around digitalisation, resilience, risk management, urban logistics, last mile. So a really big cross-section, not just logistics, but also supply chain as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. And I think, that's where the reach certainly really does appeal. Some of the people that I've been speaking to are, even CFOs in different organizations, really trying to understand the conversion of cash and where everything is held up within a supply chain, what those risk issues actually are, how we do make it more sustainable, and then also, the enduring impacts of the efficiency and effectiveness gains that we can actually have. So we're starting to see a real cross-section of the executive leadership team at these events, as opposed to just a logistics head or a supply chain head. And that, I think, becomes really critical for organizations to understand that a supply chain does control the complete conversion of your capital, and the whole ELT team need to be involved to make sure that all facets of the business are, working in synergy to be able to capitalize on the opportunities that are there and mitigate the risks.
Absolutely. So this will also provide a great opportunity for that networking. So not just, as you say, supply chain professionals or logistics heads standing up and speaking to their cohort, but also having a different level of participation from a wider industry is very, very important. So we're excited that Logisym has been able to promote this networking in the previous events. And like I said, very excited to bring this forum, this concept, and partnering with media partners such as CargoNOW into the Philippines to have our chance in a very important market for many, many companies and many logistics partners.
Yeah, very much so. And taking so much more prominence as well, and certainly a lot of development and, involvement in different free trade agreements and so forth that are happening. So, the Philippines is absolutely going through an evolution in its own right. So it's great to be able to have an event that focuses on what those core issues are for the Philippines, as opposed to just having our Philippines, industry attendees at other events in the region and not things being as specific to them as what they possibly could be. So well done on being able to bring the event there, and certainly from a CargoNOW perspective, covering it and making sure that there is that focus on the Philippines and market. Huge population, so diverse, so many different industry segments. So it's really great to see from that broader industry perspective that we're shining a spotlight on the Philippines. So thank you, CargoNOW, for being able to do that and being involved with Logisym.
No, we're really proud of our association and connection there, and we're also very happy to have logistics executive on board with us in the Philippines as well, as a media partner as well also. So thank you for that support, and along with the other sponsors and event organisers, I think we'll deliver a fantastic event on the 17th of August in the World Trade Center, Metro Manila.
Brilliant. Well, certainly looking forward to it. So we will tag all the details so that everybody who wants to attend can have their tickets and find out all the agenda, and then also be able to follow all the media partners to make sure that if they can't attend, that they can certainly be aware of what's happening and read up all the news and the insights that are being shared at the event as well, and continue to follow CargoNOW to stay abreast of what's happening in the industry. It's certainly been a great source of insight for us for many, many years, and I certainly encourage other people to jump on board and make sure that they are subscribing. So we'll get all of that tagged. But Scott, thank you so much for joining us today on Logistics Executive TV. It's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you again, and we look forward to finding out all the news and the insights from Logisym in Manila on the 17th of August, and continuing to stay abreast of industry events and happenings with CargoNOW.
Thank you, Cass. Much appreciated, and my pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on Logistics Executive TV, and we'll see you next time.